All right, everybody, welcome back to Bourbon Banter Evans. Justin, still Masters Week. What are we doing now?
Masters Week, round 2, part 2. This is a big thing for us, so we decided to bring out one of the more fun opportunities, and that is the infinity pour, or infinity bottle.
Yes.
Specifically, we're going to be pouring from the infinity bottles. Now, we are still rocking the same Masters shirts. Do I still have matching Masters socks?
Yes, sir, you do.
Shout out to one of the busiest times and one of the most fun and exciting times in the Augusta, and in our case, Evans area.
Yep.
And so it is golf week, if you want to call it that.
Yes, it is.
And we decided that infinity pours made sense. So if you guys want to try an infinity pour, we definitely recommend it. At first, I wasn't sold on this.
Right.
It took years of convincing.
I agree.
And I was just like, I'm not going to mix all this stuff because
why?
I'm not a master blender.
Yeah.
And then I did some barrel picks that involved blending some whiskeys, and they turned out really well. So I thought to myself, if that's true,
Yep.
and I could blend those and have a really fun time at Bourbon 30,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
then why can't we just see what happens while we blend
and what you make
and random stuff,
and random, it could be random junk, it could be random good stuff, which, yeah, we might have a few good things here.
Right. And so we decided to go with 2 different glasses. We have a rocks glass, prior use, and then we have what we've been referring to as the hybrid blend.
Yep.
Which has a specific name, but I like the hybrid blend name, so we'll stick with that. And we've got my infinity bottle that I've been going on for years now, and we have the newest member infinity bottle that we have recently created, but we haven't tried, and we're pretty super stoked to try.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And guess what? What is it, Justin? It's all
single barrel picks.
Yep.
So not a single one of these is a non-single barrel, but what's the best part is they're all barrel picks.
Yes.
And so out of all the different barrel picks that we've come across or have recently used or either been involved picking, it has been mingling in this, and there's up to about 20 plus in there.
There is.
And so, again, I'm going to have another shot at it, another go at it. So thank you guys for following. Cheers. What's in your glass? And like and subscribe and hit the...
Yep, hit that button right below.
What he said.
Yep, and also leave us your comments. If you have an infinity bottle, let us know. We're going to get a little bit more into these right now, but honestly, what's in your infinity bottle, if you have one?
Right, and then did you track it? I didn't track mine.
Right.
I should have. I used to have an idea in my head of what the percentages were, but then it got to where every time you drink it down a little bit, in order to keep the infinity thing rolling, you add more to it.
Right.
Other than that, you just have a blended bottle. If you don't ever add more to it, then you just had a blend that you created. So the infinity is ever changing.
Yeah, ever changing, and it's not supposed to go down. You're supposed to keep adding to it. That's why they call it an infinity.
Right. So let's say you drink it down to here, add it back up.
Yep.
Let's say you drink from here to here, add another couple ounces. And so I will admit, the reason that we're going with this one in this glass is because it is a little bit what we call, I did a higher end version.
Yes.
And so this one ranges of some pretty pristine whiskey, if you want to call it that.
Very much.
There is Elijah Craig 21. There is some Heaven Hill 17. There's a lot, let's see, Eagle Rare 17.
Yep.
Taylor Warehouse C, Taylor Barrel Proof, Taylor Single Barrel. There is a good portion of Rip Van Winkle 10 year. There's some Lot B in there.
Right.
There is, I think there's some Old Charter Oak, maybe some Stag Junior. There might be some Blade and Bow 22 in there.
It's a lot. There's a lot of them in there.
Right. There is the all famous, when it first came out, the Discovery Bardstown Bourbon Company 4.
Oh, really? The 4? Okay.
That had the older juice in it.
Yes.
That was so good.
Yes.
And just, I'm trying to remember what all went in there, and it just kept adding. But I stayed with the same theme. I wanted the higher end, or what was considered higher end, and a lot of it was higher age statements and things like that. But this
one's just, it's a mix of a lot of different ones, and it's amazing. I mean, all single barrel picks, all of them.
That one is going to be fun to try. But I have a surprise.
The one that I love in here is Eagle Rare Spirits Pick.
Yes,
is in there.
That's in here too.
That was the very first pour
that
in
was
here.
2016, and we started the base with that. That same Eagle Rare is in here.
Yes.
So my surprise is if I have 10 and 12 Winkle in here, and we recently opened some others, then what I'm gonna need to do is add a little bit of 15.
Uh-oh.
So this is the 15 that we did on the Winkle.
Yes, it is.
Winkle Wednesday.
Winkle Wednesday.
And so we need to pour a little bit in here. Hopefully this is on camera, and hopefully I don't spill anything.
Oh, yeah. Just adding to the. Oh,
Well,
got a little bit, but not bad at all.
So now
You gotta cork it.
got to cork it. And let's rotate a couple times. So this is how we do. Hey, look, it's a butt pour.
Or is it a neck pour?
Oh yeah. And so I'm not shaking, not stirring, just rotating. Let it mingle for a little bit.
Yep.
But in the meantime, Charles, how about we go into that bad boy?
We're going here.
So I'm super stoked to try this.
And this is not an infinity bottle. That is the control.
The famous control.
Yes, indeed.
Again, if you guys have an infinity bottle, what is in your infinity bottle? What gave you the reasoning to put what you put in there? And did you write the percentage down and track it? Or did you go the route of myself and not track it, and now you have to remember every time you try it and what it may or may not taste like?
After you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Man, I'm super
I know.
super stoked to try this.
I am too.
I just said super. Uncut, unfiltered.
Uncut.
I'm going to be the
Uncut
one
and
that mess up the words every time.
Nah, it happens. But love the old Fitz bottles for Glen, not for Glens, but for decanters. Yes. Such a beautiful bottle.
Oh, let's talk about proofs.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Okay, guess what? This one, 112.
112 on the nose. We
Yes.
took the hydrometer to it already prior to this video. Took the graduated cylinder and 112.
112.
This one last time was measured prior to me pouring in some 107 was right at 98. This one usually stays between that 98 to 100 mark.
Which is perfect.
Right.
Love that 100%.
And if you've ever been over, by all means, let me know if you want to come try it. It is ever changing, but for the most part, if we've met up and had a pour together and you noticed that it was here and we remembered that the infinity's in the back because it's not in like plain sight, for the most part, everybody has thought or said that this is one of the most exciting pours that they've had.
Heck yeah. I mean, because it's just it's a mixture of all different ones, but all very good quality bourbons.
Right. Now, this is a bourbon base only. This
Yes.
one has 2 barrel picks of Sazerac Rock.
Yes, it does.
Yes. So this is be in this category. It'd be a whiskey. At this
Yeah.
point,
Right, it's a whiskey. Definitely a whiskey, but guess what? It's still a single
I can't
barrel.
wait to-
It's still single barrel picks.
Man, I'm getting some ethanol on that though.
I am
from
too.
here.
I am too. Ooh, yeah. Getting it right off there.
So this is a 112, is maybe a little potent. Got all kind of different range. I mean, we're talking about barrel picks ranging from like
Ezra.
it started with Eagle
Yep.
to Ezra to Elijah to Old Forester to Sazerac to
Did we put? We have Buffalo Trace.
Buffalo Trace. There's
Yes.
multiple Buffalo Traces in there. That's right. That was the base. Was technically the first 3 started were BT1s.
Yes, it worked.
But here's the kicker that we really did. Justin's House of Bourbon, single barrel 14
I
year.
forgot about that.
I put in their single barrel 14 year, one of the most amazing barrel picks I've ever tried.
Yeah.
And was able to get their last bottle before Justin's House of Bourbon went into whatever situation they were in now.
Right.
But that was prior to that. So we had their barrel pick. It's a great pick. And it's actually got a percentage that's taking up that space. And that's,
Yeah. Everything in here is between half an ounce to an ounce.
yeah,
Pour.
at least, yeah.
Yep.
That's why you were able to get, and then everybody knows that there's, 25 point some change ounces in a 750. And that's why there's up to around 20 because some of it was half ounce, why it was pretty up to here.
Yep. All right.
So let's give this bad boy a try.
Let's give it a try.
And cheers to you guys.
Cheers.
Thanks for joining in.
Yep.
What's in your glass? And like and subscribe.
There you go. You got it good.
That nose is lighting up, like not lightning, but like getting less ethanol.
Yeah. I'll tell you what though. You think from the nose, I can get I can taste the rye in
Is
there.
there?
I can taste the rye.
1792 is in this also.
Yes, it is. I mean, there are 22 different bottles in there. We're gonna miss a few, but it is smooth.
Oh wow!
I'm surprised how smooth. But do you get the rye on the back a little bit?
I got it on the tip.
Yeah, I'm sorry, on the tip. Yes, and then now I'm getting
And then
a little
when
bit
it
on
rolls
the finish.
back.
Yeah.
But it was initially right off the tip of the palate.
Yeah.
And it kind of lets you know like it's got some proof, but it stayed there. The middle part of the palate was fine.
Oh, it's great.
But then you get that little bit of rollback from the different barrel picks. That just tells me that the combination of barrel picks that we were able to acquire ended up being
Pretty darn good.
pretty good
Yeah.
by themselves, and let alone you mix them together.
Right.
It's like a suicide at the fountain machine for soda.
Exactly. Just everything you can get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All kind of different sodas. Well, in this case, all kind of different bourbons. And rye. There's 2 rye, so.
But for this whiskey, and we'll call it whiskey because it's got a rye in there.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. That's not a bad infinity bottle at all.
Man. Round number 2 on that. I'm pretty stoked. So this is what I'm thinking. I can't wait for the next single barrel picks that we come out with to add to it and keep it going.
Yep. You know what? I think I've got another Eagle Rare to put in there. I just haven't opened it yet.
Oh, that's right. We do.
Yes.
And I say we go ahead and I think this one's mingled long enough.
Yeah.
Before we finish this one, let's go ahead and do a little side by side. Break this one open.
Now this one is a pure bourbon. There is no whiskey in this one.
Nope. This is a straight blend of all kind of different bourbons. Not a single rye in that one. Well, I mean, rye standard mash, but no rye whiskey.
Right.
And I had the chance to put it in there because I do have a Thomas handy that's open that we could put in there, but I'm staying away from the rye. I want to keep this a bourbon.
Yep, keep that a straight bourbon because bourbon
we chose the hybrid blend on this one mostly for nosing because this one's typically the few times that we've drank down and then added more, it gets a little bit more dynamic. So
trying to just see if there's a difference in the color. I think this one is a little bit. I think the bourbon one is a little darker.
Wait till that depth and that nose hits though.
Holy cow!
Did I say Blade and Bow 22 was in there?
No, you didn't.
Okay, so Blade and Bow 22 is also a part of this.
Man, that is just. There's no ethanol on that at all.
It's just straight depth.
Yes.
Of like.
I mean, you can't pick out a single character. I mean, that would be. I would think it's impossible to pick out a single character in that.
Sometimes I get. I mean, there's so much going on. There's a lot involved in this, but I get a little dankiness just from some of that really old stuff that's in there.
But you can pick out one. But what I'm trying to say on the nose, there's almost
a lot going on.
It's almost an assault on your nose.
Or a clown car. What I call a clown car is there's another flavor that gets out of that vehicle every single couple seconds. Yeah. So if you guys are interested in adding something to this, and you have something that's really high end to keep this one going, by all means, let me know. We'll add it. We'll share a pour.
Yeah, definitely. Put it in the comments. Let us know. Reach out to us. And honestly, we would like to know if you have an infinity bottle, what is in your infinity bottle? It doesn't matter if it's the lowest of low, and if you enjoy doing an infinity bottle.
How many times have you done it? Have you repeated it? Have you drank one before and decided to start over? Did you stop doing one because you didn't like the way it was going? You started back with a different version. Or did you take half of it and start your base? Or do you have a method that you've done multiple times because you found a recipe, which would then be a blend, but then you've continued on from that? This gets really fun if you have got that last ounce left over, which typically I don't. I usually do it when it's somewhere in the middle of the bottle. Sometimes it's the end of the bottle.
Yep. No, and that's what's fun about it. This is why drinking bourbon and doing this stuff is fun because everybody can do it differently. Everybody has different palates. And some people like to do these things, some people don't.
I was about to take a sip without.
Go for it.
Cheers.
Cheers. Like and subscribe. Ooh. Oh, God.
It's good.
That is beyond good.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, man. And that's first sip.
I know.
What we like the 3-sip method. Second sip is better. Third sip is usually where
you're ready and you're gonna get all flavor.
You can pick everything, not everything out, but you can pick out the big notes. But this is holy cow.
Do you see where you get some of that dankiness from some of that older stuff?
Oh yeah, is it dry? It's
a little bit dry. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There might be some William LaRue in there. I can't remember.
Really?
Yeah. But I know that I put Elijah Craig 21, and that's a oaky.
Well, so is that.
17.
17. Yeah. HH 17.
See, I don't remember if I mentioned that the Heaven Hill 17 and the Elijah Craig 21. Those are both in there.
Yeah. Now we need to put in some.
Golly, I almost think that it's leaning on a Heaven Hill nose at this point
does.
after that first sip. And now my palate's like, okay, what are we going for?
It almost seems like it. Yeah.
But then I pull back.
Did you put any William Heaven Hill in here by chance?
No, I don't have.
Okay.
Any, yeah. But don't get me wrong, if somebody has a William Heaven Hill that they're willing to offer up, I will gladly put it in there and share a pour.
Yes, indeed. Man.
That is a bit of all right.
That is good. Not that this is bad.
That's
at
just
all
off the chain.
That's just. I mean, it's a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean.
And we've never been one to say that age statement means better. It does add a different dynamic to it. But again, this is going from higher end as what is called higher end, or perceived as higher end. This is from 10 to 23 or 22 for sure years old.
Right.
And some of it is younger than that based off of, well, that's not true because my store pick I put in there is 11.7. So,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. And then this right here, these are just single barrels.
Just single barrel picks.
Picks. Yes.
Up
single
to
barrel
14 years old.
Yes.
And starting at around 4.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, it's good. It is very good, but I mean, that's lights out.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going back to the single barrel Infinity, if we'll call it that.
All right.
The nose on that is killer.
It is, though.
All right, everybody, we really, really, really are asking for your help on this. We really want to know some comments and your thoughts on this subject. Not everybody is a fan of doing this.
Yeah.
We realize that.
And
we decided to do this. Let us know why you're not a fan.
Right.
And please interact with us on this because this one became really fun with different groups or different bourbon groups or different friends bourbon groups and so on and so
And this
forth.
is one of the reasons why we wanted to do this, because this is a topic that we haven't done. This is a topic that is, it can be polarizing. So some bourbon drinkers love it. Some bourbon drinkers cannot stand it. Think it's waste of good juice and
Yep.
everything else of that nature. And honestly, let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear that. Let's get some conversation going on this.
And I will admit, I automatically default to I lose the better looking bottle in the decanter. I went with the Taylor decanter, which isn't a decanter at all. I just like the shape of the bottle.
Yeah.
And then I should have done this. I do have a spare one of these glasses, so I'm thinking about dumping this in there and then having matching decanters because
yeah.
this is a true decanter style bottle.
Yes.
And it just looks really nice. And so I've even thought about even maybe taking the labels off and then making a custom label that just says Infinity or something like
Yeah.
that. I've seen that with the Taylors. They'll actually take that front panel
Really?
off and make it say Infinity.
That's pretty
and
cool.
It looks pretty neat. And so I went with that bottle. But
I love the old Fitz bottles.
the old Fizz bottles are fantastic.
Yes, they
And
are.
don't get me wrong, though. Our Control has its own decanter, which is a legitimate decanter out of the 80s.
Yes,
it's
it
super
is.
cool. And so
You can't go wrong with the VO.
I say 80s. That's based off of, we've talked about this years ago. It has to do with my dad. It could be early 90s, but based off of what he was saying, it is late 80s.
Right.
So.
No, it's great.
And
But
this is a really
I'm surprised about that. I'm surprised how good this is.
Yeah, we've got some really good store picks in this.
Yes.
By all means, if you guys want to add a store pick, let us know.
Be glad to give it in.
Yeah.
Put it in there and
Bring a
let's have
store
pour.
pick over and let's share a pour. I mean,
And-
we're all for that.
And what's fun is after you add it in there, get it mixed up, and then we pop the hydrometer in it. We can't do it in this bottle. We'll do it
graduated cylinder.
graduated
Yeah,
cylinder and everything. And it's awesome to see what proof that you're at.
Yes.
And we were surprised. We were thinking about 110,
And then
between
I-
110 and 120.
Right, and then I went up like 7. I was like, you know what, Charles, I'll go 117.
Yep. And I said 107.
Right, and I was like, because I originally said 110.
Yes, you did.
I was just guessing.
And I just went right straight.
And then when you said 107, I was like, you know what, that makes more sense. Because I knew the proof we have full proof. We've got 4 barrel proofs.
Yeah.
We got a couple of 107s. So I was trying to go, so I went up 117 and should have stuck with my original 110 because 112 was really
112
close.
is
Yeah.
one. I mean, it's almost right on the button, right on the line at 112.
Right, yeah. And it's pretty cool because it drinks nothing like
No,
that.
not like a 112 at all. I mean,
No.
I don't even know if it drinks like a bottle of Bond.
I'm still trying to debate on that. It might go there, but it's going to be real, yeah.
Right. Now,
And
this
so-
one, holy cow, that one does not drink like a bottle of
No,
Bond.
that
at all.
almost does. That's just like a flavor bomb.
Now, granted, it's only 98 proof, but I mean, you're two percentage points off.
Right,
I mean,
yeah. And so on the single barrel pick Infinity, there are still 2 more that I forgot about to add to that.
Well, you know what? That's what we add to them later.
Yeah. So they'll be.
And I got another one to add.
Yep.
So we've got a few more to add. That which is fun. Which is something that we like to do. We love to find barrel picks, store barrel picks.
Yep.
We love to find them because guess what? We like to see what other people's palates do, and we like to find and understand what other stores.
Yeah, it's really
can
cool to
accomplish.
know what they're putting out as well.
Right.
I can't tell you how many different Elijah Craig barrel picks I've been trying around the state, knowing that an owner was going to be leaning on me in a group to do their pick for them. So I needed to get pretty well versed in it. So I've been trying what's around the state and what was available.
Exactly.
And so now everybody knows how I feel about regular Elijah Craig. So we went 94 proof as talking to the owner, and that's what he preferred as well. So we went that route as far as that goes. So we were trying different ones to see what kind of quality we were going to be up against,
Right.
per se.
Yep.
And so started doing those, but it just takes going and finding those and buying the barrel pick and trying it.
It does.
And so this also ranges from all kind of different distilleries too. So not only Kentucky, but there's also MGP in there.
Yep.
Also out in Mississippi.
I mean,
I put one of those in there.
yeah. I mean, that's the thing about it. That's what's fun. It's going to be unique, and you know what? When you put the next pour in there, it's going to change it a little bit more too.
Which keeps the fun of the
Yes,
infinity going.
It does. It does.
And so now that we've tried it, and then we've tried that with the 15 in there, which is
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean,
So-
what can you say?
there is a video circulating only amongst a group message of a couple of people that saw when I added the Rip 10 that night. They
Oh.
said I got a little heavy-handed with it. So there is supposedly a good percentage of 10-year Winkle in there.
Can't go wrong with that.
Right, and you know, there's a reason behind that. It happened to be a bottle that was open for a family member, so on and so forth. And
Right.
you know, cheers to that individual.
Yep.
You know, and so it was just playing okay, I've got extra of that. So anyhow, but that being said, that one
That one's amazing.
really solid. I mean, really,
That's
really
a
solid.
That's a solid bottle
Yeah.
right there. And not taking anything against this, anything away from this. I
No,
should say.
uh-uh.
No, uncut, unfiltered. Sorry about that. But no, honestly, guys, like, subscribe. Please let us know. This is one that we really want to get some communication going on in this video. Like to start that. If you like infinity bottles, if you don't, and what's in yours.
Shoot, yeah. If you hate them, let us
Yes.
know. This is the worst video you've ever done.
Can't believe you put 15 in that.
Yeah, why is he so crazy that he's going to put 10, 12, 15 on top of a Eagle Rare 17, Heaven Hill 17, Elijah Craig 21, Blade and Bow 22,
Right.
and the list goes on. I think there's some old charter Chinkapin in there.
Yeah, I mean, but we've been able to, people have helped us out doing this, and it's been amazing.
Yeah, and so that's all we look out for is if you're willing to help, we're willing to try it.
Yep.
Because why in the heck not?
Right.
That's what makes this fun for us. We're not doing this for any other reason than the fact that we like bourbon. We like reaching out to you guys. We like interacting with the people that like bourbon as well. So.
Yeah, and try to get some good information out there and try to make it accurate and not just a bunch of hyperbole. So
Yeah, exactly. And that being said, that's one of the reasons I think I should change the label on this so that people don't think that it is Taylor Small Batch, because it is by all means not.
right. Well, I mean, neither is this Seagram's VO. So.
Right, but yeah, I went old school.
I
I,
know.
want to get rid of the old school
I
thing.
know.
This is a newer one, so I still feel like I could strip the label and just put the word infinity on it.
Yeah,
You know,
I
something
could,
like-
but I love the old fits.
Yeah,
that's the old.
again.
That's the OG old fits.
Right,
so.
I mean, and if you're gonna go back to the 1950s
Yes.
and keep it the same, why not keep the original 11 year that came out the same?
Exactly. But no, Justin,
Dude, this was
I know it's been great. That one right there, amazing job.
that is. Now I didn't do it. I just
I know, but
we
that's
just,
an amazing. That's
I
an,
just had the leftover conveniences of adding it. And
yes,
Then, you know,
and then everybody helping out. Honestly, that bottle, and guess what? Both of these bottles, they're right here.
Yep.
Anytime you want, just let us know. Add something to it. We'll let you have a pour.
shoot. For that being said, if you guys want to do an infinity night at your location, reach out. We
Oh.
travel well.
Yes, we do.
We'll do a video. If you don't want to do a video, fine. Reach out. We'll take a photo.
We'll take photos,
And
or
we'll
guess
do-
what?
We'll do the infinity share, if you want to call it that, and then we'll line them up and see what we think. We'll even blind them.
Yep. And guess what? We need to do this live again too here pretty soon.
Yep, because it is an infinity.
Yep.
So let's call this Infinity Series 1.
One, and hopefully, as infinity is, keeps going and going.
Yep.
Like, subscribe, let us know.
Thank you guys, and cheers.
Cheers.